Allow me to rewrite today's parable a bit. A Hispanic man fell victim to robbers who beat him and left him half dead at Pulaski and Lawrence. I, a priest, was driving to anoint someone, and while I noticed him, continued my journey anyway. Likewise, a group of people heading to Pride Fest saw the man, but passed him by to catch their bus. But a man wearing a MAGA hat was moved with compassion at the sight. He approached the man, bandaged his wounds, and took him to Swedish Covenant, where he made sure he would recover and paid his expenses. Which of these was neighbor to the victim? If your initial thought was, no MAGA person would treat anyone with compassion, then you are exactly Jesus' audience for this parable. If you had any judgment at all about any of the people in my parable, be it myself, the priest, those going to Pride Fest, or the MAGA hat person, then we are exactly the audience this parable was intended for. Jesus is trying to help us not see our neighbors as them, but as us. The more we judge each other and keep putting one another into boxes, the harder it becomes for us to build true community and love one another. The commandment at the beginning of our gospel is so important because it helps us fight against these sins of judgment and hatred. You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your being, with all your strength, and with all your mind, and your neighbor as yourself. Everyone is our neighbor. If they're human, they're our neighbor. It doesn't matter who they vote for, the color of their skin, who they're attracted to, the religion they practice, or any other box we're used to categorizing people into. We're called to love everyone and treat them the same way we want to be treated. But this is only possible if we love God above all things. As I was thinking of this parable, I was thinking whether or not to include the reasons why people pass him by. I did include I was on my way to anoint somebody, the others were catching a bus. But in the original parable, Jesus doesn't give any excuses for the Levite or the priest. And that's because there's no excuse to judging or ignoring our neighbor. A child of God, a sibling of ours in the human family, is dying on the street. If I were that person half dead at Lawrence and Pulaski, I would want everybody to drop what they're doing to help me. We are called to treat others the way we want to be treated. So we should stop what we're doing to help others. And this is very hard to do when I love myself above everything and not God. My sisters and brothers, we have to get down this commandment if we desire to be with God for eternity in heaven. If we're not prioritizing God, we're not prioritizing heaven. And we have a problem knowing our neighbor and loving them. Prioritizing God starts with Sunday Mass and daily prayer. prioritizing time every day to pray, and making Sunday Mass a non-negotiable every weekend is the beginning. When we give God those honors of our time, we start to see that we need the sacrament of reconciliation. We start to notice the call in our hearts to serve Christ and the poor. We see the beauty and joy that comes from sharing the resources we have with others instead of holding on to every penny for ourselves. We begin evangelizing naturally and inviting others to come with us on the journey of faith. My friends, let's love God above all things. And naturally, we will love our neighbor as ourselves.